Oh no, it's upside down! Hey, it's Vas here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to my review of the FT011 racing boat. Now, I got this guy from Hobby Wow and I did an unboxing for it around August 2016 from memory. Now, I haven't done a running video on the channel, reason being because there's a bit of a saga that went on with this boat behind the scenes, and I kind of want to give you a bit of a backstory into what's been going on with it and of course give you my final thoughts on it as well. So, when I got the boat, I tested it here at home, it seemed to be working fine, and then I took it out to the lake to do my running video and I had a little bit of an issue.
Radio is on. We'll put the radio down over here. We're going to plug this in. We'll see what happens. Why is it doing that?
So as you saw, I was having all sorts of problems. Every time I plugged the battery in, the boat would go into full throttle and the remote just wasn't responding, or the boat wasn't responding to the remote inputs. So I contacted Hobby Wow and said, listen, this is what's going on. I also uploaded the clip that you just saw to show them exactly what was happening. They sent me out a new receiver and a new ESC. The problem with that is that the boat comes with the receiver and ESC that's all one unit. So I was trying to bind this new receiver to the radio, it didn't work. I couldn't get it to bind. So I ended up putting in my own receiver and took the boat out for a bit of a run. However, I didn't get any running footage. Well, as it turns out, a little bit of my own fault. I didn't protect the receiver because it wasn't waterproof and the boat got some water in it and then the receiver failed. So when I went out to actually film the boat, not knowing that receiver was damaged because of water, the boat didn't work again. So this was like the second or third time I had been out and I just could not get running footage of this boat. So eventually I came back home and I said, all right, let me see if I can get something going. And I pulled out a waterproof receiver from my Vetera Camorra, which is an old car that I've had for quite some time. And I figured I'll swap that radio with something else. And yes, finally, I have the boat running. I have a waterproof receiver in there and I also made all the connections waterproof by putting in some heat shrink and taping it up a little bit as well. And finally, I was able to get some running footage. This is flat out. That's all she's got. Whoops! Got a bit too close to the shore then. So finally the FT011 got its run and you actually got to see it here on the channel. Now I will say that I have seen a couple of other videos online where the boats seem to be a little bit faster than mine. I don't know if that's my perception of it, but it just seems like mine's a tad slower than some of the other videos I've seen out there. People claim that their boats are stock as well, so I don't know what to take away from this. So my overall thoughts on this guy, and we're going to put aside all the bad luck I've had with it because I think this may be a bit of a bad run, right? I don't expect everyone to have this sort of bad luck with their boats. I certainly haven't had this sort of bad luck with a lot of the other RCs I've had, and I've had dozens of them. So this is quite a unique situation, an exceptional situation at that. And from what I hear, this boat's usually pretty reliable. So I think I've just had a really bit of bad luck. So we'll kind of park all of that for the moment, but let's really look at the boat itself and just kind of judge it for what I think. Turning circle isn't great. It has a rather large turning radius, and I noticed that on the back of the rudder there's a couple of tabs that stop the rudder from turning any further. So I kind of angled those off a little bit, adjusted my servo horn, and now I have a little bit more steering. However, I haven't ran the boat with this adjustment as of yet. And I don't know when I'll run it again, because it's kind of hard for me to get out sometimes with my boats. But if I do manage to get a run with it and just with this modification on the rudder, I'll probably upload an independent video later on down the line. Another thing that I didn't like about this boat was that the canopy has a little tab back here that you open up, and then if you're trying to open it, and if the boat's wet and everything, your hands are slipping, there's nowhere to really grab it and pull this thing open. And I was getting incredibly frustrated at one point trying to open this canopy and not having any success because my hands kept constantly slipping. So I ended up doing a little mod where I put a wire back here between these two kind of, I don't know, exhausts sort of looking things back here, and I put some hot glue underneath to secure this whole thing in place, and now I can put my finger under there and grab it and pull the canopy out, no problems at all. Very lightweight, very small modification, and something that highly recommended. And of course, being just a tiny little bit of wire, it's actually a control rod from one of my planes, and it's quite hard. I think it's a stainless steel rod as well, so it's unlikely to rust and corrode over time, and it's just a great little mod that helps take the canopy off. Of course, you do have a second canopy over here with 4 tabs to lock it all into place, but unfortunately there's not much of a rubber seal. This does have some sort of like foam seal along here, but it doesn't seal it enough. So when you do flip the boat over, you will notice that there's water getting into it. At least mine had quite a fair bit of water at one point, because I was kind of just tossing it in there and trying to flip it back right side up. And yeah, you do get water in the boat, so just keep that in mind. Thankfully now my receiver is waterproof, the ESC is waterproof, of course, so yeah, it should be fine. Not a lot of room in here. Of course, you probably can modify it if you really want to give that a go. I'm going to leave mine stock. I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much. It's a fun boat, quicker than my other previous boat that I got from Banggood, which was the Blade. And this is actually a really fun second boat because, well, technically it is my second boat. And it was a good step up. I really enjoyed it. It handles pretty well. It just has a rather wide turning circle. And of course, as you know, I had a little bit of bad luck with it, but overall, I actually don't mind the boat at all. It looks good. It's priced pretty well. I think it's about $99 US. But as I said, I got this one from Hobby Wow, and now I can't seem to put the canopy in. This is another problem that I kind of had with this boat, is the canopy just sometimes, I don't know, it's hard to lock into place. Again, could just be bad luck, could just be the mold that I got on this particular version of it. But I think the self-righting feature is a great feature, and definitely will help some beginners out there, especially if you're not sure how much steering you should really give the boat to be able to turn, or at what speed you can really full lock it. And if you're running it in some rough water, this will definitely come in handy as well in case you capsize it, so you can just flip it back right side up by giving reverse and then giving full throttle again. So that's pretty much my overall thoughts on the boat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and of course click that little bell so you're up to date with all the new videos I have coming out. Check the video description for purchase links to the boat, as well as a link to my Facebook page. I thank you all very much for watching, and I will speak to you next time.
That's ripping now. That's got a 2200 4S max amps in there now. It's ripping around pretty well. Come on, come on, come on, turn, 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 turn. This thing's good fun. Getting kicked around a bit by the waves, but overall a lot of fun. What can we say? It's taken a while to get to this point, but finally it's up and running. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.